Hey everyone, it's Joel from the Fun Pimps, and here we are with Alpha 16 Q&A with Mad Mole, Volume 1. The Gronk wants to know, the only question I have, and so many, better make it a good one. Can you describe in as many words as possible the current or future AI system used by the game? No, we don't really, I don't really know what you want me to tell you. You just play the game and you see the zombies come at you, and you know we've talked about a lot of systems, but this is such a broad question I don't even know where to begin, so sorry, I don't really have I'm not sure. You might have to be a little more specific in your question so I can really narrow it down. I mean, we've got zombies, they've got pathing, we've got breadcrumbs coming, they have a priority system on what they're going to attack and all that. I don't know. I'm not really sure how to answer that question. Sorry. Subquake. Can we have a block selection window open on mouse right click and rotation of block map? Yeah, we've talked about that. Maybe, but that's almost like something we might do in the sequel. 7 days kind of is what it is. I'm not sure we're going to revisit any of this. It would be nice, and I've had this idea a long time ago, but I'm not really sure we're going to get, if we want to go there yet. But yeah, we've had that same idea, maybe not quite that exact GUI implementation, but yeah, something like that. I don't know. We'll have to see. Roland, buddy, Mad Mole, with the breadcrumb system, will the issue of zombies spinning in circles directly below players when the player is out of reach on an upper floor be resolved for all regular zombies? I'm happy with the new ramming special ability, but I'd like to see some behavior change on the regular Zads and they can't reach you as well. No, the spinning issue is something entirely different, and I think Joe already fixed it. There might be one little case yet where you see some spinning, but it's nearly rectified. But yeah, that's a separate issue. The breadcrumb system is going to get them, to my knowledge, this is still, pie in the sky stuff. So if it turns out different than what I'm describing here, sorry. But basically, I think they're going to attack. They're gonna try to go the way you went and reach the crumbs that you left. So they're probably going to. Obviously they'll take the easier route, but if that fails, they're going to fall back to the breadcrumb system and go, well, we know the player went in this way. We're going to wreck these blocks that he put in and barricaded this door because they smell like he was just here. And, it's kind of like they're going to use a scent system to track you versus sight. And it should be they're going to use sight and a clear path first, and then breadcrumb will be a fallback system when the player's getting tricky and, went up several flights of stairs, whatever, the pathing. We can't make the pathing too deep or it's too CPU intensive. They could always find a path to you, but it would be too slow. So the breadcrumb system is going to allow us to extend pathing in a way that's cheap and runs good. Trekken, do you think you will have some time in Alpha 16 to put some emphasis on the telnet output? Dude, I am totally not into dedicated servers, telnet, any of that kind of stuff. You're talking an alien language to me, so I'm sorry I don't have an answer for you. You might be able to ask Alec about that, but I don't know. I don't know anything about it, so sorry. Brian wants to know, will we be seeing a change in the current issues of zombies spawning in right behind you? Yeah, I think we actually fixed that already. I figured out how to reproduce it on my own game. I guess it helps playing the game, to day 50 legit. I had it happen, I reproduced it, and Chris has already fixed it. So hopefully 15.1 solves that once and for all. And but we'll see. You know, I know we fixed one case of it at POIs. I don't know if it's going to happen in regular biome spawning. I'm not sure, but I mean, hopefully, you know, hopefully we caught it and that's it. Goodbye to that problem. Survival UK. Any additional transport options coming in Alpha 16 quad bike gyrocopter? I can't promise that. We've got vehicles sitting around ready to go, but you know, the man hours to implement them and the timing might not be good right now. It all depends. If we turn Alpha 16 into a 6-month guy, yes. If it's a 2-month build, no. So it just depends how we're feeling and how soon we want to get a build out. Farlow, since you guys are redoing the pigs, why not model them after Javelina, since they would be really accurate for the AZ setting? I actually researched Javelina and it's not even a pig, it's something else. So I don't know. I mean, we're still kind of tossing that around. Maybe we'll do like a boar, and that way it's like, maybe it's not aggressive, but if you attack it, look out, it might attack back, it might run. That's, to me, that would be pretty cool. So you didn't really know, so there was a little bit of risk to, you know, killing the pig. But you know, we'll do some more, we'll look into the Javelina thing a little more, and if I can get some conclusive evidence that those are the predominant wild boar of Arizona, then maybe that's what we'll go for. So I just want it to be authentic, whatever choice we make. So we have to research that a little bit more. Extra kicking. So Mad Mole, Alpha 16 dude, what can we expect in terms of electricity? New traps, mechanisms that move blocks like Minecraft? None of that unless we extend it to a 6-month build. If we go with a 2-month-ish build like we're talking about, no, it's all getting pushed back. So, but you know, we've got what we're doing. We might add some more, but we'll see. You know, I mean, if you guys want new builds every 2 months, no, but you know, if you want to wait, then yeah, we can probably do that. But I think we want to start doing a little bit shorter builds, at least while we can. I mean, I think right now we're in a good spot to do a short build with limited features and get something out before Christmas. Don't come and rage at me if we don't make it. You know, it might end up being, you know, with holidays and everything, you know how it goes. It's probably more like end of January, early mid-February. We always plan these things to be short, and they end up taking longer just because of everything else that goes on. So yeah, you know, maybe it'll happen. I can't say for sure. It just depends on timing. If we're in a code lockdown by early December and we're looking good, we'd like to get a build out in December. But you know, if we haven't really achieved even half of these goals we're talking about, it'll be more like, well, just why bother doing this release? Let's just keep going, keep adding stuff, and release it when it's ready, and then it'll be a huge, awesome Alpha 16, kind of like 15 was. But we'll just kind of see. Dividing by 0, Mad Mole, 815 is amazing balls. Glad you think so. I'm loving it too, dude. I'm like playing this game every night, and usually after a release is done, I am so done testing. I'm just like, I'm done playing 7 days, because it's just like, been doing it nonstop. But this is the first build where I'm still immersed, I'm still being challenged, and I'm still having a blast. So I'm really happy that Alpha 15's turned out so well. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. I'll show you guys my base and all my legit stuff I've done. So I'm I'm just having a great time. So anyway, will there ever be more than just traders? Will there be factions we can expect? I don't, you know, this is all the same answer. If Alpha 16 is a 6-month build, sure. But if we keep it short and sweet, no. So that's the answer there. Stallion's Den, I usually give you a hard time at times. Sometimes it's the morphine, sometimes it's a bad sleep, and other times I completely disagree, and sometimes it's for blah blah blah. But I'm loving Alpha 15 totally and look forward to seeing this game in Alpha 16. What if I have All right, what's your question, dude? My question is there any chance that A16 might see a bigger block ID at all? That way you guys can add a lot more content without it stepping on those mods that add more stuff themselves. Modders are crying out for more block IDs. Maybe. Right now, we just want to get our things done. We want to support the modding community, so probably we'll take that day or two that it's going to take us and increase that limit. USMC Grunt, Mad Mole. Will there any greater threats to players other than Feral's bandits added to the game? Bosses, events, disease, radioactive rain. Yeah, we're all for more ways to kill the player. So yeah, for sure. I'm not sure if that's Alpha 16, but yeah, we're always adding more ways to get wrecked in the game. Eric Jacobs, first off, I want to say that I absolutely love 7 Days to Die and believe that it has more potential than any other survival game right now, but something needs to be said about its current state. Can you guys not add anything in Alpha 16 and spend an entire build just doing bug fixes, balancing, and optimization? No, we're going to keep adding features. We've already done a shitload of optimization and a shitload of bug fixes. So if you're still not satisfied with how it's running, then you need to look at your own computer, which might be a potato. So yeah, I think if it's still not running good for you, then something's wrong with your rig, man. Clean your hard drive, get some more memory, because we've been told just from everybody that it's running better than it ever has. So we're definitely not. We're always optimizing. We're always trying to get the game running faster. That's always a back-end goal, but we're not going to put all our features on hold just for that, because the game's running great. I'm getting 60 frames a second and I'm serving. So I don't know what you want, and I've got everything maxed out. So if you're still having problems, it's probably your own computer. You need to look at yourself, not us. We can't make a potato run good. A potato is a potato. So that's how I feel about it. And the game's running great for guys with 3- and 4-year-old computers, and I've heard nothing but good stuff about performance. So I don't know what else to tell you. Best luck. Maybe next build it'll run for you. If it's running that bad, I don't know what you're doing. Maybe you're running mods. I don't know, but I think the game's running better than it ever has, and that's what everyone's telling me. So that's about all I can say. DeBenster, animal farming. Mad Mole, great work on the game so far. I like Alpha 15. I'm excited for the changes coming in Alpha 16. I've always wanted to see animal breeding farming, at the very least farmable chickens for a source of feathers and eggs. Would it be possible to put animals in a fenced area? There's a great amount of performance loss when adding even a single chicken to the game. The Unity controller is very expensive, and we're looking into a way to do crowds, zombie crowds, and if we get that pulled off, basically it'll be a low CPU mode for these animals and stuff, so and they would only come alive when the player's actually close to them. And if we can pull that off, then we might be able to get something like this going. There's other ways to do it, just build a little birdhouse thing. It's just a block, and you come back every few days and you get feathers and eggs, and you just have to load it with chicken seed or something. So, and we're talking about fishing a little bit. I don't know, but that's scope creep, so we'll see how it goes. It's like, we can't make everybody happy all the time. It feels like, you guys love it when we do a big release, but you also hate it, so because you have to wait forever. So it's one of those. It's a catch-22. So what are we gonna do? Let's wait and see. I'll announce it when it's done, that kind of thing. So we're gonna try and do some cool stuff like that, but it's just a matter of priorities and getting done what we can do in a reasonable amount of time. So Congo Bongo, will we be getting bigger default backpacks or some kind of additional pack we can carry at any point in development? Yeah, we keep hearing that, and we keep talking about it. So maybe one of these days we'll have, you know, a page 2. We're going to add maybe, you know, a shield slot and a backpack slot someday. We're talking about it, you know. I'm not sure when, and so, you know, it's definitely, you know, on a list of priorities for everybody. Air graphics. Are there any plans to update the zombies, such as grab and bite animations rather than usual hand slap animation? They actually have a bite animation when their arms are both cut off. That's a rare situation. Gaz is doing some dismemberment overhaul, so we might see a few more situations where they're missing arms and stuff, which is going to be great. So the landmines will hopefully randomly blow off parts, and you will see a lot more zombies missing arms and limbs here and there and still coming at you. TFO Night Stalker, can we get a preview of the World Creator tools someday? Oh, probably. I mean, I could show them to you now, but they might change, you know. So they're nothing great, and that's probably why they're not released. I mean, they work, but you know, they're nothing that awesome. Guppy Kerr, as I lay in a hospital bed on dialysis, my only question is about vultures. I think I already answered this question in the dev diary, so go read my reply. You know, basically, it's for sure going to be exact copy of the Hornet. Only it'll be a vulture, and I can justify that by, hey, it's undead, so it could flap its wings without getting tired. So essentially, it could hover, and with the, you know, the damage to the CNS system, you see zombies. They don't walk as good as they did when they were humans. You know, that's why they stagger and convulse about. So I could kind of see kind of a hovering. You know, would we like to see swooping and cool new flight patterns? Yeah, but that's programmer time, and programmers are busy doing cool stuff. And this is something the artist can do. So, you know, it'll be a little more immersive. But we'll see. You know, if we get time, yeah, we'll redo the flight. But otherwise, it's just, I can promise you to do a Hornet replacement with a cool vulture, undead vulture zombie, but I can't promise the other part. So that's it. Ventura cars, still thinking about them. To start with, even a 2-seater would do. Yeah, more vehicle talk. We already kind of answered that question. It's kind of a maybe. If we do a short build, no. If we do a long build, definitely get some more vehicles. We've already got a cool Jeep and stuff modeled with armor upgrades and crap. It's just, we don't have time to hook it all up, so, and debug it, you know. And there's still enough problem bugs with the mini bike. I think we want to put all those bugs to bed before we add any more vehicles, because we just, you know, can't be having all these bugs. Something strange. Hello, Mad Mole. I love Alpha 15 and cannot wait for 16. Question. I saw survivors NPCs in the spawn list menu in the debug mode. Could you elaborate on your plans on these NPCs? Will they be UMA also? I don't even know what you're talking about, but NPCs are all UMA. Trader Joel and Trader Bob, Rick, Hugh, Jimmy, all those guys are UMA built characters. So any other NPCs that we add will definitely be UMA. This guy wants to know, I cannot pronounce his name, have you considered a relook at some of the early game recipes for basic survival? For example, why can't I pour a bottle of murky water into an empty can to make a can of murky water so I can cook it on a fire? You know what? We don't like clutter in the menus. You know, it's like we want to teach one way to do things, and the more I play this game, and when I see these multiple recipes in my list for the one thing, it pisses me off. And so we're doing away with all these dumb multiple ways to skin the cat, just because it's bad for the game. I mean, when you're playing with a friend and he says, hey, how do you make water? Well, you could do this. You could take a can and, you know, you can dip it into the water, then you go over to a campfire and You stick it in there, and or you could, you could find a jar and you could fill it with water, and then you could get a cooking pot and you put it in there and you boil it, and then it's good to drink. We want one answer for those questions. There's one way. I mean, how many games do you have 100 ways to craft something? I mean, it's just redundant, and is that even a word? It's redundant. It's I forget the word I was going to say. Anyway, yeah, I mean that's why. If you want that, mod it in. But I don't want to look at a cluttered menu. When I click on water, I don't want to use my cans to craft it. I want to scrap them into metal and vice versa. So it gets really confusing to have all these different recipes for the same thing in there. I mean, that's why we took out the coal torch. I mean, originally we put the coal torch in because we thought that lights were going to have a time and they would burn out after a while. And after playing the game, we thought, that sounded okay at the time, but there's so much to do in the game. How much fun is it to manage light sources? I don't want to be adding torches to my cave every 3 days or whatever because they burned out. Then I can't find my way to my mine where all my good ore is at, because those caves have become a big tunnel mess. So I really don't want to be playing. I want to manage the light source game. You come home, you want to turn on all the lights and turn them off because the zombies are going to see it. No, that's not good game. That's not good gameplay. That's maintenance. That's I want to achieve things and have them stay achieved. I don't want to revisit and do maintenance. It's just not fun. So that's kind of where we're going with that. So we're trying to get rid of all these redundant recipes. I mean, it's maybe biofuel will stay, but some of these other ones just don't make sense. If we'll probably keep the canned water in there. That's fine, because it's like it's a bare bones, it's a clunky bare bones way to survive, so you don't die. But if you can't find a cooking pot, we put that in there so that you can at least drink and boil that water. We don't let you stack it because there's no lid on it, and it's meant to be a clunky water source. But being able to convert, being able to pour a jar of murky water into your can, I'm sorry, dude, just go get a cooking pot and get settled up, and then water's nothing. It's easy. You go get 100 jars of water after you get some sand and you make 100 jars, you fill them up, and then you boil them, and you got enough water for two or three games. So I wouldn't worry about it. It's something you can mod in if you want, I guess. So anyway, that's where we're going with that. Sorry if you don't like my answer, but that's how we feel about it. Giltrin wants to know, hey Mad Mole, thanks for doing the Q&A. Have you considered adding a melee weapon that can be used effectively on Horde Night? Perhaps a pike that can reach zombies from the top wall. We haven't considered that. That might be interesting though. We are talking strongly about adding in a power attack, aka Skyrim. So you press and hold the mouse button and you use 2 or 3 times the stamina and do double or triple damage or something with a high chance of critical. And I think that'll add a lot. We were talking about block too, but that's a lot harder to do block. So we're probably going to start for sure with the power attack, and if we get time, then maybe figure out how to do block. I mean, we've figured it out. It's just but looking at it and the code it would take and the risks, it's going to be. But yeah, with sleepers coming, being able to block or knock back would be awesome. So visualizing something like Skyrim, where right click with a melee only would bring up your weapon into a block pose, so you could block an incoming attack. And maybe double right click would be like a knockback, kind of like shield bash in Skyrim. So that's the way I think it would play nice. Lone Star Canuck. Oh wow, I replied to this thread. I shouldn't have been replying to this thread. Any chance of mine the right thread? Yeah, okay, questions. All right, cool. For some reason I thought I was almost back in the dev diary. Lone Star Canuck. Any chances of getting skills to mod existing items, like adding a flashlight to helmets and bows? You already can craft a mining hat with a flashlight and a football helmet and some other stuff. Or hardening metals to make things stronger and sharper. We've talked about another way to add a flashlight. That way you can wear, you know, a sweet helmet and still have a light. So we'll see about that. Let's see. And I already answered that question. What am I doing answering these questions? I'm fired. I'm supposed to save these for the blog. I think I was confused and I thought I was in the dev diary. That's why I answered these. Are there any plans to add random world gen tweaks to new game creation, biome sizes? Yeah, actually, I don't know when, but we want to do that. And more talk on the melee with keeping it simple as Shadow Warrior. Alright, Flix wants to know, will Alpha 16 be like Alpha 15 where the community tests and report bugs? And if so, when will it start? Really? You don't be asking when, dude. Yeah, I think the experimental version was a big success, and the hardcore guys got in there and they tested and reported bugs, and then our stable release was very stable. There's very few bugs. And I think we're going to be good to go with 1 or 2 patches, and I think we're going to deploy a new patch this week for sure. And yeah, so we're going to keep doing that. When it's done, you know that's the answer. When it's done. Alderon, hey buddy, how's it going? My favorite pet bear. Someone should make a thread called Interesting Seeds. Yeah. Am I in the right thread? Is this a dev diary? I'm a freaking idiot. No, this is the Q&A. Why does it seem like why are there so many pages? I'll be right back. I need to look at this. Alright, I'm back. You guys had me all tweaked out here. I've seen all these replies and stuff. Usually this is all cleaned up and nice, so I guess anyway, on with the questions. We are in the Q&A thread. People briefly describe the area. I don't know, this isn't even a question, so roll in next time. Let's clean this up, make sure it's all questions. Anyway, no discussion, just questions. Deeds for Life. Hey Mad Mole and TFP, quickly wanted to say thanks for such a great game. Where's your question? Are there any plans for new weapons and traps? Yeah, we've got some stuff. I don't know if they'll make a 16 though. MO7. Will Alpha 16 random world gen map become borderless like it used to be? Never. Reason is it could just endlessly fill somebody's hard drive, and servers were complaining that there was taking too much hard drive space because people could just keep going. Then there's the jitter problem, and dude, it's huge. You don't need endless. It's a fantasy. It's all in your head that you think you need endless. The fact is, you're not going to explore every square inch of any random gen seed. I can almost guarantee it. It would just take too much time as it is to actually cover the entire map. So why do you need endless if you can't even use 50% of the space we've given you? Old Bolt. Thanks Pimps for making 7 days. It's always my go-to game when I didn't know what to play. Since Alpha 15, it's all I've played. Now, the problem with zombies not making any sound seems to be fixed. Can we get a creeper zombie that doesn't make any sound? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's just going to piss people off. We'll see though. I mean, we have some new zombies coming, or new zombie play types and stuff, so Zombo, what about socket road system, socket river system, interstate highways? The current random gen looks great, but without interstate highways, it looks like a disjointed, unrealistic mess of hills, and there are more hills and some lakes. I don't know. I mean, all the socket stuff is still getting worked on. We'll see. I mean, we're getting close where we're getting to the point where we kind of just want to finish up random gen and move on, because you know Robert's a really good programmer, and we really need him, you know, making legendary items, and he's involved with skills, so we want to get buffs on clothing and buffs on weapon parts and legendary items and all that, so we kind of need him there. But yeah, he's working on random gen. Moving on, Chris 416. Have you ever considered the possibility of allowing us to loot zombies through iron bars? Man, how much do you guys, how easy do you guys want it? You just want to sit behind your safe bars and be able to get the loot without risk? I mean, come on. Alright, I'm going to tell you a secret. It's already possible. Some of the new railings we made, I'm pretty sure, or the wooden ones at least, if not the metal ones, have real collisions, so you should be able to loot through them, pretty sure. And I know you could loot through the, you could probably loot through the arrow slits, so yeah, I think it's already possible. But we're not going to change the iron bars so that you could loot through them if you can't already. I think that's too generous. Railroads. The new road system looks great. Made me wonder whether it could be used to make railroad tracks as well. I guess your question is, are we making railroads? I'll probably make the railroad ties of this build, and what they do with them, we'll see. So that would be cool to have some tunnels and stuff. We figured out how to add prefabs precisely to Navigain, and now that's possible. There's some really cool stuff happening, so I could see definitely a railroad tunnel, like that scene from 28 Days Later, where they got stuck, where they had a flat tire in the tunnel and the zombies were coming in there. That was awesome, and I've been wanting to relive that in this game. So yeah, I think there's a good chance. My one question we'll see is, will we see NPCs? Will we be able to interact with them? Will they have quests related to them? Yeah, we're talking about doing some Radiant quests, probably just be the traders kicking those off, maybe a female survivor, since we had Caitlin Glass record a bunch of cool quest related stuff, so I think, yeah, she's probably going to make it into the game. Recruit them as pets, maybe. I mean, we're getting the wolves in. We'll see how it goes with all of that. Doombringer, loving Alpha 15. Really nice work on the distant train. Thank you. Any chance of the backstory of the apocalypse as seen in 7 Days to Die getting fleshed out in Alpha 16? Well, you know, for adding more quests, I think the obvious answer is yes. And we are working on adding more quests to 16. So yeah, hopefully. I haven't put that in the thing. I mean, we're just kind of I will add features to the opening dev diary as I know that I can confirm them. Right now it's a maybe, but it's high on the list of maybes. Razor 1612, is it possible to give the pig and stag random chance of copying the ramming behavior? The fat Zed, whenever you get that going, so we can have the moment of suspense when we hit the critter. It's more of they're going to ram the blocks if they can't get to you. I can't see animals having that behavior. Mad Mole, Alpha 15 is the pinnacle of your creation without a doubt, so thanks, dude. Thank you. I think it is too. Question, can you expand a bit on the volume-based sleeper system, please? We're talking Splinter Cell type affair. where players' actions have different sound values with incrementally add X decibels reached when sleepers will rise. You know, they're kind of, you're going to enter into the house and they're going to be triggered to spawn based on where the triggers are, and you know, they might get up if they hear you and start attacking you, and they might keep sleeping. So we'll kind of see. I mean, it might just be they just spawn and come for you as soon as you enter the house, you know, kind of thing. But I'm hoping it's a little more suspense, and you can definitely, I'm hoping we can stealth through there without waking them up or having a chance to do that. So we'll kind of see how it plays out. I mean, if we don't get the stealth part, it's just going to be you go into a house and then they're going to trigger at random intervals. So you never know. So you're going to have to go through every room and clear the house before you really start looting, I would say. You know, that at a minimum. And if, you know, and if it turns out to be better than that, great. And it might be a build later where it's better than what I just described. Hey, I can never pronounce your name, guy. Hey, thanks, Madmole, and the rest of the team for all the hard work. Keep it up. I love it so far. This is the best alpha yet. Is Alpha 16 going to see the implementation of clothing buffs? I hope so. And I got to move on because this is taking too long. Papa Legba, will there be more survival, like water not everywhere? Faster hunger and thirst degradation? Yes, would be unrealistic, but I can spend the whole day at 90 minutes. Outside without eating and drinking, that's no survival at all, not even a bit. If you don't like it, mod it. You know, we're making the game accessible for, I mean, I was just reading how hard the game is on Steam, so you're obviously a veteran, and I think veterans need to mod it out. And you can do all this with the new random gen. You can decide how deep the water is. You know, with one simple setting, you can set the water height of the whole random world, and that's going to drastically lower how much water there is. So go ahead and use the tools and mod it out to how you like. That's what's great about this game. There's a lot of options, so everybody can enjoy it. Uncle Fester. Will there be controller support? I thought we already had it in 15. Why it's not working, I don't know. So that might be something we need to look at. But yeah, it should be already done. If not, I mean, so by 16 for sure, hopefully at 15x. Rest in pieces. Hey Stud, what are your thoughts on adding an environmental hazard that will add some cons to underground living? I think that's a great idea, and that's something I want to do in order to keep survival feeling real, like having to craft fueled air filters or something similar. P.S. You guys are an inspiration to Unity users with this thing you've made. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think Unity's okay. I don't know why everybody, you know, gives it a bad rap. I mean, I think I've used a lot of different engines, and I think it's pretty damn good. I mean, it's, you know, I don't know. You know, that's everybody's likes a certain engine they liked, but I'm fine with Unity. But yeah, underground hazards for sure. That's something we want to do. So when you get down near bedrock and there's no sky connected, you know, basically, hopefully you're either going to get black lung from mining unless you have a respirator or something, or you might need oxygen tank, I don't know, or an air purifier system, which would be really cool. So like a ventilation shaft that goes all the way to the top that pumps air in a volume. So that would be really cool. Oz Hawkeye, A15, Distant Train Rocks, a total immersion booster. Well done. Thank you. Do you ever foresee a Fallout 4 style settlement system, but with actual uses ever coming to 7 days? Yeah, we've talked about quests where you help settlers you know, repair their walls or craft them a workbench or something like that, you know, or fetch quests. So yeah, I think we're heading in that direction. Stonks. Is this just a reply to what I said? Yeah. And with sod, not intentionally mentioned as being an early game fireproof material because burning zombies could torch your wooden fort. I don't know where we're going with sod yet, so we'll wait and see. And we have to get fire in before any of that's even relevant question. So Gagoo wants to know, is there more base dependings things for PvP planned? At the moment, raiding a base is only a time issue. You have enough time, you enter every base. Yeah, we've got turrets coming. That'll give you some base defense. If we get the wolf companion working, you'll have a guard dog. We'll see, and among other things we can do, but I don't know when. Ref, do you have plans to add infinite player-made sources of water to the game, like an electric water pump, for instance? Maybe. I think you can already get an infinite source just by carrying a few buckets of water, putting it in a little hot tub, and scooping the middle block out and filling it. I'm pretty sure it's already possible. Guppy Kerr. Okay, that's a comment. And keybinds. Let's go. He decided. Okay, well, Guppy Kerr, I'm glad you didn't lose your leg, so best of luck to you with your health, dude. Biofringe, can you please speak to someone about implementing proper keybinds or the like? Would love to be able to edit my keybinds from outside the game, keeping backups and all, as well as maybe allowing 2 keybinds for action. Yeah, we can talk about that. All right, that wraps it up. Thanks, guys. Week 1 done. Next week, hopefully, there's a little more content to show you. We're just getting started and just kind of answering questions and whatnot. So stay tuned. It's only going to get better. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you would. See you next week.